All right, without further ado, I'm going to introduce Chris Allen as our speaker for today with his Lotus Curves.
Recently, my niece played the Cowardly Lion at her school play with the Wizard of Oz. And if you know anything about the Cowardly Lion character, Cowardly Lion is kind of hung up on the idea of courage. And so, yeah, a lot of people tell me, Chris, how do you do it? How do you get in front of a group and just say whatever you want? Well, okay. Yeah, I guess there's that. There's the karaoke. Some people, they require something called liquid courage to do karaoke. Now, I don't require that. I think that's cheating. But that raises a good question. If that's cheating, if that's fake courage, what's real courage? Okay, well, real courage, I don't think is very hard to understand. It's strength in the face of grief or adversity, things like that. Or you're just really afraid of something and then you decide, hey, I'm just going to do it anyway. That's courage. It's pretty easy to understand. But they can't all be equal. I mean, some courage has to be greater than others, right? I mean, how have I been courageous? I've asked myself that several times. But I don't know. If you need an object lesson in how courageous I am, well, I'll give you one right now. Sloppy, but that's known as a drop kick, my friends. To do that, you have to physically drop and land on your side. To do that, well, it's around maybe 30% technique and 70% guts. So yeah, there is no small amount of courage that has to go into it. I've done that. I've done an obstacle course run by the Navy SEALs at age 40, which is not a very good idea. But yeah, I can do that. I've done a lot of things which you might call courageous, such as writing novels. That takes time. It takes time to write it. I mean, you have to dedicate yourself to that. When it comes to things like public speaking, though, I have delivered countless speeches, and I do mean countless, because I've lost count. And I need to explain exactly how I got to that point. How did I lose count of the number of speeches I did? Well, as it turns out, if you are really good at public speaking, or if you just had enough practice, you change your attitude about this thing. Like you start doing things off the cuff. You don't actually have a paper record of all the times you decided that I'm going to get up and speak. There's a guy named Isaac Asimov that kind of inspired me. Asimov, you see, he is a famous science fiction writer, incredibly prolific. But what you might not know is that he was an outstanding public speaker. He could just nail a speech completely off the cuff, just without any preparation. At some point, I decided I delivered enough. I'm ready. The moment you decide you're ready, then you're ready for a lot of different types of courage. I mean, I've stepped up. I stepped up to Toastmasters. I stepped up to things. I mean, I've had to move all over the country as part of my job. I mean, it takes courage to do a move. My job itself, some people would consider courageous because software is difficult for people. A lot of people, they're like, no, I'm not doing that. Now, after everything I've said, do you all think that I'm a courageous person? Victoria, you think I'm courageous? I don't think that's enough. I don't think that's courageous. That's only mid-tier courage. Let's talk now about what high-tier courage is. What's high-tier courage? That's when you set parts of yourself up for some real sacrifice. I mean things like it, be it your pride, your money, or even your life. Yeah, I mean, speeches, how much am I really sacrificing here? Let's be real. How much am I really sacrificing by delivering a speech? Like, exactly. Where's the sacrifice? But what about the evaluations? Oh, the evaluations, they can hurt. You got to be really courageous to sit there and listen to people just to pick apart what you're doing. There's nothing you can do. That is real courage. I've made a lot of video games. I've submitted them to online portals. Now, if you dare look at the comments section after you've done a submission, then you're going to find at least one person, and often many people, who just completely rip your work apart. Oh yeah, that's happened several times. It really hurts. That's courage. I've written music. Music is terrifying for me to write. I've had people review that. That takes a lot of courage. I mean, going back a long time, I used to be bullied. My older sibling was complicit in the bullying. Somehow I was able to prevail. Courage. I mended fences with that same older sibling later in life. I was able to financially support her. That takes courage. I've stood up to friends that were going down a bad way. That takes courage. I've offered to help people just protect coworkers at the hand of a criminally insane administration. That takes courage. There's a lot of things that take courage, though, that I haven't done. I haven't raised any children. That takes a lot of courage. But alas, if I haven't done that, it looks like there's things that are even lacking for me. I guess I'm not that courageous after all. However, I don't want to give you the wrong idea about what courage is in an important sense, because it doesn't need to be this great, big, monumental sort of thing that you got to do that everybody knows about. Courage often just needs to be something small that matters. For example, if you've decided that you've lost, you're beaten, and you're going to lose gracefully, that's courage. You've decided to invest a whole lot in something, and then at the very end, it's no go. That's courage. Anytime when you have to say goodbye to people that you've known for a long time and you may never see again, that takes courage. So that's courage. I know I can ask you, because you're asking yourself this question, I know you are. How am I courageous? I don't care. If that sounds a little strange, well, there's a good reason that I'm saying I don't care what you think, because it's always based on context. You may not necessarily know when you need to be courageous. You know how to recognize it, hopefully, but are you going to be ready when it's needed? I would say that part of the Toastmasters mission, what I really like about it the most, is that it seems to be very good at preparing you for the idea of recognizing courage. So with that in mind, you don't want to have to go looking for courage. When the time comes, you'll want it to already be there. Thank you.